Okay, hello, everybody. We are back again, covering more of the good old booger man, the boogster, the boogie bro. And today he is on stream with the Lolcowlive. They're live right now, so we're just doing a little bit of backing up and reacting a little bit to earlier parts of the stream. So far, all they have covered is the punishments that Boogie has to go through, one of which apparently is he's going to have to get liar tattooed on his face somewhere, which he literally, after that was said, he called a place and was trying to apparently get in to do that tomorrow morning at some point. They've also covered some of the other stuff that's going on with him, mainly the inconsistencies that he has with his own abuse. It's nothing really here nor there, but the most interesting part that has come up is that good old Mr. Metokur, Cancer Man himself, has once again risen from the tomb to join our little podcast that we're going to watch, and they are currently going over it. Where I'm starting us off is just after some ordinary gamers, good old Muda, thought that somebody was stealing his car. Turns out that wasn't the case. It was actually his brother that was taking the car. So, all right. Without much further ado, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, the chat over there is going. I'm not really going to focus on that, so let's see if we can full screen that or theater it, whatever. Get it to where we can't really see the chat. Oh, we can still see the chat, can't we? Well, we can do this, I think. Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is going on live as I'm streaming. So, like I said, I just wanted to back up and cover some other stuff. So, let's see what goes on.
Yeah, I thought someone was
Does
going
he
to
drive a Tesla? Teslas don't rev.
No, it's a Mustang.
Can you guys hear me?
Hi, Jim.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Metokur on the line. Okay, it's time to go over Boogie's abuse story and the inconsistencies with a lot of the statements made throughout the years.
Well, first let me say that I'm not super familiar with his abuse story. Moody, you said that there was a thread. Can you
give him the thread.
Let's just bullet point this. Let's go through the whole thing.
Let me put it in the chat here.
And Metokur, just so you know, any reference
I heard, so I'll stay away from
the sisters kind of off limits.
Yeah,
yeah, because like he said, she was a victim too, and I don't feel comfortable bringing her into it. Yeah.
Okay, give me a second while I pull this up.
Well, she
actually,
at you, right?
if it's okay, my brother, I don't know if he'll be mentioned in there, and he shouldn't be at all. But also, he is a sexual abuse survivor, and I don't think his story's ever in public or anything. And I don't think we should get into that if there's any speculation in there. So my brother and my sister, I'd like both left out.
So let me just start with a few things before we even get into the subject proper.
Sure.
The last time I was on this stream, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I was trying to be as
yeah, you don't have to do that.
Generous as I could be when it came to the cancer stuff. You know, Destiny come in, he made these claims, he refuted the claims. I was a little confused because people were putting up good money. I know Mood is here right now. You'd said that you didn't trust him. Oh, he's a liar. He would never put the money up. He's this
I still don't think he would
bastard who just
why wouldn't I put the money up? Wait, why would I not put the money up? Explain it. What, you think I don't have it?
No, I know you have it. I just don't feel like you would ever give that to me.
If you had the evidence, bro,
I think you would have moved.
I swear on my mother's life, you would have made.
Well, you also said that if I get the bone density test and it proves it, you would not give it.
No, I never said that. Don't fucking rewrite history.
Okay, so if I get the bone density test, I get 70 grand.
No, you don't get fucking anything.
That ship sailed.
That day you had cancer.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, so this is what I'm confused. I mean, like, you know, we started this off and you got offered a lot of money. You wouldn't take it. It was confusing to me. As time went on, a lot of stuff. I mean, I remember vividly on that stream and the follow-up streams, you were showing off your phone saying, look, here, I got it. I've got proof. It's on my portal. Look, Desi says it's on my portal. I think that's her name, right? You know, it's on my portal, and it wasn't. And you admitted later on that it wasn't, that it was fabricated. You didn't have that information.
Yeah, it's not on the portal. Yeah.
So, I mean, from my perspective, you've been going for 2 years talking about this cancer thing.
Sure.
You've had your colleagues and associates, people you talk to, you've been probably telling them the same thing you've been telling your audience. So if you can keep a lie up that consistently about something that seriously,
the only lie I told, everything else has been true but Dr.
The only lie you told is a fucking whopper,
hold on.
buddy.
Again, to make it clear though, the lie I told was that it was not on my portal, and I did that because I was trying to people.
Well, based off my memory, the
reality of it is I've still been treated for this for 2 years. I'll
You've been
continue to be treated for another.
No, you've been treated for a condition. You said that it was cancer. Then you told these guys, and I remember this from the stream. Well, he didn't actually say cancer. I had to Google it. And then
the sleep doctor originally did not.
Why would a sleep doctor diagnose you, but an oncologist?
He did not diagnose you.
So who gave you the diagnosis? A hematologist, an oncologist,
general practitioner.
So your GP gave you the diagnosis of cancer, not an oncologist or a hematologist.
And it's not a diagnosis. He just told me that I had signs of it in my blood.
Okay, so there you go. There you go.
Right. So again, that's a different than I have cancer. But what my point is for 2 years you've kept this up. So now we're getting into something that's more heavy, right? Everybody in this chat agrees. Sure. Everybody on the internet agrees. It's a heavy subject to talk about.
And it's interesting because I've not been able to keep it up. I've constantly changed on this one. So I think it's...
my question, I don't even care. My question to you is, why is it anybody should even give you the benefit of the doubt from the start?
They shouldn't. Before you even came on the stream, I said everyone's just going to say I'm lying anyway. It doesn't matter. This is just humiliation porn, but we'll...
If it doesn't matter, and it's just humiliation porn, as you call it, I mean, you're willingly subjugating yourself to it. I think it's funny that, like, he knows exactly how the internet works. It's already too late for him to walk back on this. It's over, basically. As soon as he was proven not to have cancer, there's really nothing that he can say to anybody to help him with trying to figure out whether or not anything that he says is true. And the usual suspects, the usual people that he can pull in to say, yeah, this person will say it's true, it's people who are literally right there with him, the people that live in the same house. And none of their words can be, none of them can be seen as truthful either, because they went right along with it, whether or not they were lied to. And one of them, being his brother, stakes his doctorate on the fact that he lied. So he just lets everybody dig holes for themselves at his own expense, I guess.
Do it. I don't care.
Well, I from my perspective, I don't blame Keem at all. I've seen Keem get a lot of crap for the last couple of days. Oh, this is fake. Oh, how could he do this? Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, he's P.T. Barnum. He's got this show that he's trying to run.
Yep, and I'm agreeing.
You dropped a big bomb on this guy by faking this cancer crap. And now we're getting into this stuff about abuse. Yep. So why don't you tell me, before we even get into the threat, why don't you tell me just the basics? And you can leave out the people you don't want to talk about. I'm fine with that. But just the basics of what your actual claims are. Because I'm going to read through this, and they're going to have screen caps of stuff you've said. So you tell me right now what the real story is when it comes to the abuse you suffered.
So through talking to my family and having a better understanding of what happened.
Oh boy.
When it comes to my mom, she wanted to make sure that I never left her. She wanted to make sure that I never was sexually attracted to other people. And that's one of the reasons she fed me wrong on purpose. We've talked about that before. Part of that was to...
Can you expand on that? When you say fed you wrong, what do you mean?
She put the wrong foods into me and then forced me to eat them. You know, she would...
No, what I'm saying is, like, actually physically sat you down and force fed you. She just made you fatty foods. What do you mean?
No, she gaslighted me. She's like, everybody eats this way, Steve. This is how everybody eats, right? Everybody eats pizza. Everybody eats all this. And I'm like, why don't we eat the way they do on television, Mom? And they're like, well, nobody actually eats like that.
Was your
Okay,
brother?
but no, even from start. So you're trying to say that one of the aspects of the abuse you suffered as a child was your mother gave you pizza?
No, she would give me no healthy alternatives and encourage me to.
That's actually very
Yeah,
funny.
but your brother's not overweight, Boogie. Did you?
No,
not
because she
look-
did. Right, she didn't do that to him. She didn't.
Right,
do
but
that.
you didn't look as a child like, well, my brother doesn't eat like I eat. Why is that?
I don't know. I was a child.
You just
It
like
didn't
people
occur to me.
bro.
Did she dress up as the Noid? Like shove it down your throat?
I told you Jim would be able to make it funny. Yeah, I told you he'd be able to.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna run with it. I get it. They're all they're walking on eggshells. I don't care.
Yeah,
So-
no.
so
I
she-
like
so she-
dark humor. I told Mutter, I'm like,
And you're
I
gonna
hope you
love
make it
this
funny.
conversation. So she
Yeah.
fed you wrong, as in she gave you unhealthy stuff.
Yes, and provided no alternatives, and then like encouraged overeating.
And was it just you or anybody else? Was it just specifically singled out to you?
Just specifically me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My-
So
Yeah, my sister and my brother are actually very fit people. Yeah.
okay, all right. So continue. So one of the things is just bad dietary guidance, I guess we'd say. Okay,
Right.
keep going.
And so along with the mental, emotional, and physical abuse, there was sexual abuse from her, and it involved getting upset whenever I would see adult stuff on television, or for having erections, or for talking about women.
And what
Yeah.
age is this, by the way? Like, can you give us a time frame?
The abuse really started when I was about 8.
Okay.
The food stuff had started before then.
Okay.
But the sexual abuse really only started about 8 or 9. It was after Dad got sick.
Okay.
Yeah, and so once Dad had his stroke, she kind of lost the plot, and that's where the stuff came in. I think also in retrospect, based on the things that she said before she died, a lot of it was to keep me from moving out or keeping from moving on. On my 25th birthday, she told me that she fed me wrong on purpose so that I would never meet a girl and I'd never leave her because I was supposed to stay with her forever.
Wait,
And
She was
how-
very
how
upset
long-
about her,
I
so-
don't want to interrupt, but this
Yeah,
is
go ahead.
like the family retelling to you about your own the stuff that happened to you.
They've clarified a few things, but no, most of this is from my memory. They weren't at the dinner when Mom.
No,
told me.
I think Moody's got a point. Didn't you say this was the family?
Yeah, this was his mother on her deathbed stating that she fed him.
No,
wrong
no,
on
that was
purpose.
my mother on my 25th birthday. She didn't die till 2009.
Okay.
Okay, and then how long you lived with your mother for? How long?
Till I was 18. I had to come home for summers during school and winter breaks during school. So, I mean, I often
sensing
say I was there for 20
inconsistency
years,
already.
but realistically, I moved into a dorm room and so
I don't know if he's going to call it out or not, but the inconsistency that I'm sensing right there and that I'm hearing right there is his mom told him that the reason why I fed you the way that I fed you is because I never wanted you to meet a girl, never wanted you to move out, I wanted you to stay with me forever. She didn't tell him that until he was 25. And he had already moved out of her house at 18. So, was she just, I guess she was just coming clean at that point? That doesn't, I don't know. That's strange.
the fall that I turned 18.
Okay, and so with your mother, we'll just stick with her for the moment. So the food abuse stuff, we'll get to that. All right, but
So the sexual abuse would like,
yeah,
is like
keep going. Yeah.
So her punishments would involve just making the physical abuse of a sexual nature. So she would grab my nipples, twist my nipples whenever she was angry. That was very common. I can't handle anybody like brushing against my breasts at all. It's very triggering. And then she would grab my
like-
genitals and twist
Like
them.
Kim was saying earlier, like titty twisters.
Or sometimes just yanking them and pulling on them, just frustration, you know. And she'd make fun of the fact that I was fat and had breasts and stuff like that, you know. And then the genital abuse was not as common as any of the other abuse. This would happen maybe once a year on average, I guess. But she would grab my genitals and twist them, and grab my balls and twist them. And she would,
Was there any reason that she keeps running already?
it would be because I saw like a tits on the television, or because I looked at a girl.
Did y'all have
Well-
HBO or some shit? Like,
Yeah, but also we would go to R-rated movies and stuff, but she would cover my eyes during it, I was not allowed to
Wait,
see
she
the type
took
of
you to all these movies and then beat the shit out of you for watching it? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so she overfed you to give you breasts so she could give you titty twisters. She
Yeah,
yanked
Boogie,
on your
Mama took
nuts.
him to Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
One of the times that happened is when I had an erection early on, and she got upset about the erection because she could see.
How did she know you had an erection?
Well, I mean, I was fat, but I wasn't so fat that you couldn't see a pant tents.
Oh, okay, you weren't like sitting there naked or something.
Yeah, it was while I was going through puberty.
Okay, so you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so was this the majority in regards to your mother? Were these events? Occasionally she would grab your balls, she'd pinch your tits, and she'd feed you food. And that was like the majority, the bulk of what she did.
Yeah, it's the majority. I guess I should probably get into some of the minor things. They're probably on the list. She would also be nude in front of me, and then I walked in on her having sex with her boyfriend, and she claimed to be raped during that. And I went into shock. I was going to say dissociative, but Jackson Clark says I'm not dissociative. But I went into
It's because you're not.
kind of shock, and I wandered out of the trailer and just started walking down the road. They had to come and pick me up. And she did not want my dad to know that she was having sex with somebody else, so she claimed that she was raped, and that helped reinforce the sex is dirty. Sex is dirty. I would never have sex. I only had sex to procreate. That's the only reason anyone ever should have sex. Having sex for pleasure is bad, and I would never have sex with this man because he raped me. And then she exposed herself to me very frequently, even right up to the age of 18. She would be naked in front of me. She would sleep naked, and I was forced to sleep in the same room right up until I was about 16, where I
So
finally
can I
moved
ask
to the
you?
couch.
You said that this, you were with her till you were 18 and you left, and then you came back later on. Why didn't you go no contact, or why was this never reported, or did anybody else in the family see it?
Yeah, well, they saw the physical abuse. Brian saw that, and he's talked about that on the show. He saw what I went through, and he also saw what she went through. My sister, who I'm not going to talk about her sexual abuse in any way.
Well,
but
yeah, I'm trying to stay away from your sibling.
Right, she got removed from the home when she was 12 because it was so bad. I still never understood why they left me and Brian. I understand Brian because he was so much older, and I think their explanation for me was because she had never really hurt me up to that point. And so Brian had his nose broken and burnt and cut and all that stuff,
So
but-
physical abuse for
for
other-
Brian. Yeah, Brian, he got physical abuse, and then my sister got. Yeah.
And then when you say removed from the home, do you mean by the state?
Yes, mom surrendered her to the state.
Okay, so this would have been reported to some kind of agency then?
Yeah, that would absolutely be very, very easily verified. Yes.
Okay. Now, in regards to, you said it wasn't just mom, it was dad also.
Yes.
Okay, and then can you go over, I guess, the same thing with dad, when it started, what it was?
Dad really only had one isolated incident that comes to memory. There might be more. A lot of the times you block these types of things out. I did block some of it out until my brother mentioned things that had happened, and I was able to remember them then. But Dad was an alcoholic, and he wanted to try to undo some of the abuse that.
Okay, before we move on, because he's going into something completely different, there's one thing that I need to really pin down on, and that's this whole disassociative thing. Earlier in this stream, before I decided to open up my own and start talking about it, he mentions that he disassociates. So I'm disassociative right now. I'm disassociating. I'm going into a dissociative mindset. The problem with that is that if you were experiencing disassociation, you don't know that you're disassociating. That's what disassociation is. You don't know. You're not in your own mind. Now, the way that he explains it is, oh, well, it feels like I have a virtual reality helmet, and the volume is turned down, everything's darkened, and I just get further and further away until I feel like I'm an NPC that can barely control what I'm doing. That's not disassociation. Like, he's trying to make it seem like he has, like, a a movie level of split personality. Like, if anybody has ever watched the M. Night Shyamalan movies, especially Unbreakable and Split, and then later I think it was Mirror. I think that was the last one. But those line of movies where it's all of the pseudo superheroes and whatnot in their own little universe with... No, it was Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. That's what it was. So, in that movie, and especially in Split, they introduced the guy that is later just known as the Horde. And he has, like, all these different personalities. And he's talking, like, that level of disassociation. Like, he has a split personality where suddenly whenever something happens that's traumatic, the split personality takes over, which would make sense. The only problem is that with either of those two conditions, you don't remember what the other personality goes through. There is very, very, and I'm talking like an extreme rarity, it's like less than 5% of anybody who experiences dissociation or split personality or multiple personality, whichever you want to call it. It's like a less than 5% chance that you're going to remember anything that any of the other personalities do. Like, DID, disassociation, is why you don't know that it's happening, you don't know what's going on. And with split personality, it would be like a less than 5% chance that you would know what the other personality is doing. And it's in very rare cases are people actually able to tap into those other personalities. Like, I know that there's been a few documented instances, especially here in the last decade, that people have, like, went on public TV and whatnot, and they're like, oh, I have over 200 different personalities, and here I'm going to tap into one right now. I'm going to tap into another one. I'm going to tap into another one. Like that, the way that the mind works, that doesn't happen. If you're able to just jump from personality to personality that quickly, you're not disassociating. As a matter of fact, you probably don't even have the thing at all. But yeah, that's... I don't know what exactly it would necessarily be that he's experiencing whenever he's going through that, but it's not disassociation, and it's not split personality. I think what it is it's one of those things where he's actually just trying to use his anxiety as a reason why that is happening. And honestly, being someone who studied psychology and went through like so much schooling and whatnot of it, that's what pisses me off the most, is whenever he starts bringing that up. Oh, I'm disassociating. It's, no, you're not. You're being anxious. You're getting called out on shit. And because you're getting called out on all this, you're trying to, once again, manipulate, do that sympathy farm, and try to make everybody leave you alone. And the fact that nobody's leaving you alone, in all honesty, should be the way that it is. Nobody should be leaving you alone for all this, especially since you decided to literally fake cancer. You're just done.
Mom had done, I think, was his intention.
Okay.
And so he showed me pornography. I believe it was before he got sick, so I think that makes me 9 or 10.
And when you say showed you pornography, did he just say, hey kid, here's a tape, put it in the VCR, or did he say, come sit down next to daddy on the bed? What did he say?
It was a magazine, and he slept on the couch, so it was on the couch.
Okay.
And he's like, we were home alone, and he's like, hey, so listen, your mom's got it wrong about sex. Sex is actually a really wonderful thing, and I want you to know about that. And he showed me pornography, and he asked me if I'd ever masturbated, which seems very weird because I was very young. And then he showed me how to do that, and then he invited me to, it was very hard to talk about, I'm sorry, He invited me.
We don't get
he-
into details.
Well,
Just-
no, I mean, let's
I'll
get it
go
all
for it.
out. He invited me to touch him, and I did.
Okay, and you're saying that was an isolated incident, so this happened once, that was it.
Yeah.
And so the other thing I'm curious about is, and I'm not going into what happened to them, but you said that you've been told more things from, you said your brother, about stuff that had happened to
Well, yeah, and that involves other people, which we were not going to talk about here today.
you?
That's
Okay, but in regards to you though, is this a story your brother told you happened, or is this something that you're saying you remember?
Well, Brian has done 3 things for me in this regard. One time he told me about something that happened that I had blocked out entirely. And when he mentioned it, I guess my age would have been 5 or 6. So my memory wasn't great. But when he mentioned it, I remembered it very distinctly. What I mostly remember about it was the narcissistic abuse that came afterwards. Because it's something that, well, I've talked this over with Dan. I don't know if I should go into more detail than that. But long story short, he clued me in on something that I had mostly blocked out. And then I discussed that with the third party, and they showed me their perspective. And it's something that I choose not to talk about online anymore. And I probably shouldn't have talked about it at all.
And as an adult, did you ever confront your mother about any of this?
Yes.
And what was her response?
She apologized on her deathbed.
For what? But I mean, about in regards to your father, not just her action.
No, she never knew about what Dad did.
Okay, so these are those are the majority of your claims. Now, I mean, it'd been mentioned before, so I don't know. Penetrative, that kind of stuff. None of that ever happened, or it did happen, or it was something else.
I penetrated another person, but I other than a finger, I was never penetrated. Not by a penis or anything like that. No.
When you say penetrated another person, and again, if it's going into somebody outside these two, that's fine. You can just leave it vague. But was this something you were directed to do as a child, or you did on your own, or what are we saying?
It was directed to do as a child.
By your mom or your dad,
What?
or somebody else? Somebody else.
I don't want to get into it. That's okay. That's too much.
And then, when this happened, how old would you have been? Can you give me a time frame on that at least?
I mean, my mom's sexual abuse lasted right up until I moved out of the home, and I believe that would have started right after Dad got sick, which would have put me at about 8 or 9.
No, I'm sorry. I meant in regards to penetrating somebody else. How old would you have been? Were you like 8 or 14 or 20 or what? What are we talking?
I think the first time would have been when I was about 6. The second time would have been when I was around 9. And
Okay.
then I guess I'm a little shaky on this one. Again, I'm trying to remember it through the memory of a child, through the lens of a child. There was a third time where it was encouraged by my mother, but I'm having difficulty remembering if that was something that happened.
Okay.
And that would have been when I was early puberty.
And so these are the bulk of the claims then. Like I said, I'm not familiar with it, so I want to get it from you before I go over this thread. So when
Yes.
we start comparing things,
Okay.
but is there anything else? There wasn't like I was at the amusement park and a clown fucked me, or some kind of aunt and uncle thing, or some fucking neighbor thing. I mean, this is the majority is mom and dad, right?
I mean, there was a kid in the neighborhood that stole my bike and told me if I gave him a blowjob, he would give it back to me. And
Sorry about that. That was the latest subscriber, so I decided just to play the animation because, why not?
I must have been about 7 at that time, or 8 at that time, and he exposed himself to me. He was an older kid. I think he was about 16, but I just walked away, and I'm like, keep the fucking bike. And then I found it later in town.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to open up. All right. So now that we've got kind of like a baseline, right, to go with.
Sure.
All right. So I've got this. Muda, this is what you linked me to, right? It was the link in the chat.
Yeah, this is what I was sent.
Okay. Let's just go through it. I will try to redact as I'm going through this anything you didn't want to, the other parties, right? So
Please do.
bear with me. This is, I'm just going to read this verbatim. We're just going to go through it, all right?
And listen,
yeah.
okay, and I don't think anyone would fault me for this. I reserve the right to bow out. If I can't handle this anymore, and I believe it's going to put me in a dark place, I will bow out. And if you're upset about that, I understand. If you decide that that made
Well,
me a
you
liar,
can
I
you,
understand.
you can handle it however you want. Like I said, I know what you said you didn't want to talk about
I'm
other
going to
unrelated
try, I
parties.
understand, but I'm saying like revisiting this is. I told Dan that this would be very difficult, and I'm trying my best, and I will do my best. I'll try to make it to the end, but I just want to warn you
Well,
guys.
I
It's
mean, to be
possible I won't
fair
be able
though,
to.
didn't you just earlier in the stream invite this conversation with Moody? You said, yeah,
Yes,
let's talk about it.
and I did not realize how difficult it would be.
Yeah,
So I'm
to be
going to try
fair,
my
I
best.
did not want to talk about this.
I understand.
Well,
But
that's fair, but I just want to be clear here. I mean, this feels like a
yes,
dodge.
no, it's not a dodge. I'm going to stay here as long as I can. It is possible that I will not be able to, and I just want to prepare people for that. So let's go.
Okay, because to me it feels a little bit like you didn't think any of them would be willing to do this, so you said I'm open to it. but
I
now that-
specifically asked for you, Metokur.
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna go. So I'll read it verbatim. I'll redact as best I can. I don't know the names of people, but I can get the gist, so I'll try to avoid it. It's called Boogie's Inconsistent Rape Claims, and
See, now here's the thing, and I'm going to take a very, very quick break in order to make sure that I have everything that I need as we continue this, because it seems like it's going to go on for a while. That right there, as you had just heard him saying, "Oh, I have the right to. I'm going to exercise the right to bow out if this gets too much for me." That's already as he's done this like throughout the entire stream, so it's not surprising. But this is another way of him using a little bit of a manipulation tactic to try to escape if anything else is brought up, other than like he said it's mainly for these allegations and these contradictions. But in all honesty, I guarantee you that he's going to try to extend that to everything else. And it's annoying, and honestly for me that's annoying as fuck, but I can almost guarantee that that's what he's going to try to do. So before we get into that, I'm going to put this up so everybody knows I'm on the BRBs. And yeah, so everybody go and grab a drink, whatever it is that you need to do, and I will return very, very shortly. I'm going to put some of my music on, so that way you all aren't just in silence while I'm gone. Okay, we have returned. Oh, man. Alright, let's go ahead and get back into this. Let's see where this goes. And just to also say, I think it's funny that Keemstar's literally wearing a box on his head. Reminds me of the, what is it, R105 or R109 from Time Splitters 2. It's exactly what it's reminding me of right now. Anyways.
It's a lot of screen caps. That's mostly what we're dealing with.
Okay.
It says, I've been doing a lot of digging, checking around old archives, old tweets, old clips, and have managed to compile a very interesting folder of content that contradicts many of Boogie's alleged rape claims and molestation stories.
Sure.
Some of this is already common knowledge, and there's a great video that covers this, but I wanted to go one step further. Within, I'll be touching base on the changing abuse story of his, as well as tracking his supposed abuse stories at the hands of another party. So we'll just start going into it.
Okay.
The changing stories is what this section is called.
Sure.
Now, to my knowledge, Boogie didn't come out with his rape and molestation accusations until much later in the piece. Let's take a look
May I
at.
speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
It is very common, and it is true in my case, that most survivors of childhood abuse will cover for their abusers, and they are also afraid to talk about it out of shame. And that is why in 2012 and early on, I would say that I had never been molested. I was feeling extreme shame. And I also felt like, especially when it came to my mom.
Wait, hold up. Why would you ever have to say you've never been molested? What? Who the fuck is blowing?
People asked. People asked.
Oh, really?
know why.
No one has ever asked if I've been molested. Are you fucking weird? What the
in
fuck
some
are
of
you
these
talking
in some
about?
of these in some of these screenshots, I would discuss the other abuse, and they're like, "Well, did you ever get sexually abused?" And I would say no.
Oh yeah, I'm just looking through my Twitter feed. Oh, have you ever been fucked in the ass when you were a kid? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about?
I think it was probably on Reddit, and I think it's because but it happened. You'll see it in these screenshots, I believe. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not screen sharing again. I mean, I would, but I don't want to in case it brings up somebody's name you don't want mentioned, right? So,
Sure, yeah.
all right. So to start with, here we go. It says this is the first screen cap I've got. I think we would have talked about like one or two of these, and then I jumped on. But we'll just start from the beginning. My mother never raped me, and this is you responding to somebody called Panda Cat Attack. I don't know who that is. I should also add that when my mother would beat me, she would routinely straddle me. It never led to rape, fortunately, and that's back from April of 2012.
That's true. And I, like I said earlier, she never raped me. It was certainly molestation. One of the things I did say early on, and I confused, I thought that any time a child was raped, it was statutory rape. But people pointed out that I very much need to clarify molestation rather than rape.
So I guess my first question is, what even led into you talking about the abuse in the first place? You said it's common for people not to want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, here you are already opening the door to this.
Well, when it came to the, and I'm going to be as genuine as I can here, and I know people are going to hate it, but I'm going to be as honest as I can. I wanted to talk about the physical abuse because I felt that, number one, it would be helpful for me to share that story. Secondly, I thought that there are a lot of other people, and I've met them and at conventions and stuff, and they've told me like it made me feel less alone to know what you went through.
Okay, I don't buy that. I don't buy that for a second. I think that if he was being totally genuine and honest, the only reason that anything that has to do with any sort of abuse or whatever would have came up would be him trying to once more sympathy farm, because he's probably saw some other people, whether it be on YouTube or elsewhere, essentially doing their own little trauma dump, talking about their own abuse and whatever, and he wanted to engage his audience to see how they would respond. That's what I'm thinking.
And thirdly, the very first time I ever mentioned it, people responded positively to it, and this is the part everyone's going to hate, but I thought I would continue to share because I thought it would be beneficial to my career as well as help myself and help others.
Okay. The next clip, and this is, I guess, where I start to get a little confused here, all right?
Okay.
The next clip mentions more abuse, not of sexual nature, but this is what it states.
Okay.
My father was an angry alcoholic. My mother was insane. As a child, I had every type of abuse you could imagine done to me dozens and dozens of times.
Yeah.
It was not a rare occurrence. It was not a common occurrence. It was a daily one.
Yeah.
I was cut, burnt, choked, slapped, broken, screamed at, tortured mentally and physically. I could write a book about it, rivaling Stephen King. I plan one day to actually do so.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through it, for the record.
Okay, but here's where I'm confused. When we started
Okay.
this off, I said I wanted to get a baseline from you of what the abuse was, because we're
Sure.
going to compare what you said and what's written.
Sure.
You gave me titty twisters, and you gave me genital grabbing,
Mm-hmm.
and a story about your father. But here in this thing, you're saying that, and you made it sound like you said, if we back the stream up, it was like a once a year thing. She'd grab my nuts.
For the sexual abuse, yes, but the physical abuse was constant. And
Abuse is abuse. I asked for a baseline, but here you're saying
I
that
thought
it
we
was
were
like,
specifying sexual abuse. at the
I
beginning.
asked for all abuse.
Can I
But
throw a
but
question?
here you're saying every day. So you were cut, burnt, choked, slapped, broken, screamed at, tortured every day
Yeah.
by your parents.
Yep, Brian was too. He came on the show and talked about
Every single day.
it. If every single day did not involve physical abuse, it certainly involved emotional and verbal abuse. But yes,
Okay.
it was consistent daily. Yes.
Okay. All right. So the thing with your father you mentioned.
Sorry, I have to stop there because now we're already seeing this shit fall apart. This house of cards is already starting to tumble a little bit. He did ask for all abuse, baseline for everything. And suddenly it was, oh, well, I would get sexually abused this way and this way sometimes. But then now it's, oh, physically, emotionally, mentally, I was abused every single day. Every single day. Okay. Yeah. Story's already changing before our eyes.
One thing, the one incident with the sexual abuse.
Right.
So why did you start it with he was an angry alcoholic?
Because he was an angry alcoholic. I wasn't ready to share the sexual abuse part of it, but him and mom got into tremendous fights, and it was difficult as a child to endure that.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have this is from 2014. Now you're responding to somebody that brought something up. They had said, hearing him make a casual rape joke on a consistent basis made me dislike him greatly. Your response to that was, but yeah, I hate how getting raped is a gaming term for some people. Complete shit, honestly. I avoid it at all costs. Later on, it says Boogie goes to claim that he was sexually abused. So it looks like starts getting talked about. So in 2012, you're talking about physical abuse. Then by 2014, you've moved on, at least according to these things.
Right.
Somebody had made a subreddit post, was Boogie abused? And then this is your response. This is from February of 2016.
Okay.
I've never gone into the details publicly because it happened at a very young age and the details are fuzzy. Most details come from my family letting me know what happened to me.
Yeah.
I only remember bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Short version, a few different family members of my family exposed me to sex and got me to participate at a young age.
Yeah.
As a teenager, I was mentally abused about sex. Those details are worse than they sound, and I have only told one person about it, my wife. Sometimes I regret telling her, not because she reacted badly, but because I'm so...
Actually, hold on. That was a lie. I did speak to Danielle about it quite a bit.
I'm not sure who that is.
No, she was my teenage girlfriend. She was my best friend until she died of cancer at 39.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Again, this goes back to something Muda said earlier too, when it was like, is this your recollection or is this a family recollection? Even in 2016, you're saying this is something people told you about rather than something you remember.
Right. And so, like I said earlier, there is a thing that we cannot talk about because it involves third parties.
Yeah, and I don't care about that. But
Right. But what I'm
specifically in
saying
regard
is,
to you.
what I'm saying is, as I told you earlier, they mentioned it, and I must have had it mostly blocked. But once the details were there, I remembered all of it.
Okay, because and this jumps a little around in the timeline, but it says, I also found this tweet from 2013 where he claims to be a rape survivor. And this is you stating, trust me, if you've got the cure for recovering from mental illness and addiction and you're not sharing it, you're being a prick. You followed that up with, be sure to include how to erase the PTSD brought on by 18 years of daily mental and physical abuse, rape survival, and
PTSD,
etc.
okay.
Right.
So, I mean, this is something, okay. So this is something you started to get into, I mean, this is like 11 years ago, right? You've been talking about this for 11 years at this point.
Yes.
Okay. We've got accusations against a third party that you didn't want to talk about, so I'll skip it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Again, it's another one I've got to skip. This is a lot I've got to skip about a third party. All right. Finally, Boogie recounts the side of things live on the Killstream podcast last year. He claims to have distinct memories. Okay. This is what I am confused about this. We're saying that we're not
I'm just going to say what Keemstar told me to say, and I'm going to say it. Okay.
Okay.
With this third party, I had a discussion with them, and I understood their perspective of it. And
Sure.
once I understood their perspective, I had forgiveness in my heart, and I decided to walk it back.
Okay.
So I tried everything I could to point out that my memories about it were fuzzy, and they were, and that I'm not sure what happened. And based on understanding their perspective, I'm not sure anymore. I trust their perspective more than I trust my own. But I guess the majority of this document that you're having to skip over involves that.
Well,
I had
no,
a conversation with this.
Let me just interrupt you for a second. I won't name any names, but we're dancing around an issue here. But you were on a podcast.
Please, let's just get through it. I'm sorry.
No, you were on a podcast.
No, hold on. I'm talking to my roommate.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get through it. Okay. Wait till if I start thrreatening to hurt myself or something like that, that's when we pull the plug.
The roommate and the girlfriend
come on,
are trying to pull
let's
the plug.
knock this bullshit off. All right, let's get through this.
This doc is long as fuck.
Yeah. What I'm curious about is why were you on a podcast talking about this and specifically talking about these people and these events, but you won't talk about them here?
Because time has passed and I've had a conversation with that person, and they've asked me to stop doing that.
Yeah, but they asked you to stop doing it now, after you've already talked about it then. It's already out in the open. You and everybody else that has a thinking thought in their brain knows that this is going to come up again. You shouldn't have talked about it to begin with if that was the case. But you just got through telling us not 5 minutes ago that talking about it was helping you and helped out everybody else, and you thought it would be more or less like therapy for you. So I guess it wasn't. It must not have been. Okay.
And I am going to choose to do that for them because I love them.
Okay, and I'm going to be as vague as I can about this, not talking about any specific individual, but there is one portion of this that is confusing to me because it says that you settled with the excuse that a certain particular person gaslit you into believing that another particular person did something to you.
Sure.
Okay, was that a lie?
It was my attempt to walk it back, yes. I was trying to do a favor for the third party involved.
Okay, this is what makes this difficult and messy is you go online and talk about shit like this.
Well, it was many years ago, and I'd agreed to not bring it back up, but here we are.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this wasn't just like a one time, because there's another one. Like, what are the dates on this? I can't even remember. I mean, the first was a Killstream appearance, like I said, but then there's another one.
Sure.
From 2019, a Killstream appearance.
The issue is when you initially told this story to the internet, and no details again, but when you told this story to the internet, you didn't care what that person thought.
Nope. I was very angry and I was very hurt.
You just said this person did this to me, right?
Yep. I was very angry and I was very
And
hurt.
then they called you and said, "Hey, this is making me look bad."
It took several
Which is obvious,
conversations.
right? That
Well,
it's
it took
obviously.
several
Wait, let me finish.
But what they specifically explained to me, Keem, was, look, I was a child, and I did this when I was a child, and I would never meant to hurt you. I love you. We're family. I've always wanted the best for you, and I'm very genuinely sorry that bad things happen.
And
But you need
said,
to understand why it happened, and then
you said, "Okay, I forgive you. Now I'm gonna go make myself look like a liar and tell the internet that I was wrong."
It took several conversations across quite some time, yeah.
Of course it did. It always takes
And then
several.
I
It's
realized
crazy that
how
I can
bad-
never talk on my own show, chat. I always get interrupted, but yeah, go ahead.
I mean, again, I try to answer the question as soon as I realize what it is.
Keem, can you please be quiet? We're having a conversation over here.
I love that.
I mean, this is weird. What kind of situation is this then? I mean, you say, let's bring it up to talk about it, but then, and I'm fine with being vague about
Well,
it. But
we're going to be
then I'm
vague
looking
about
through,
it.
Yep. But then I look through, and you weren't vague about it for multiple guest appearances on another show.
Yep.
And then you're bringing up stuff like, well, I lied because of this. I was gaslit into this.
Right. At the time, I was originally very angry, upset with this person, and I wanted to discuss it. And after understanding their perspective and understanding what happened, I began to walk it back out of love and kindness. And if I am being genuine with you here,
Which
I
you're
will
not.
tell you that what happened because they were also a victim.
Yeah, but why didn't you just defend that person? What you should have did is you should have had a second statement saying what I said is the truth, but this person was also a child. You don't have to lie to your audience.
I'm doing that now, but I did what I was asked to do.
But what you should have done in that situation is you should have went back to the internet and said, hey, look, I said this, and I want to give this person charity. We've spoke. They're very apologetic. And
Well,
I
that's
want to
what
give
I'm
the
doing now.
I
That's
want to
what
give
I'm
the
doing now.
context that they're also a child. So if anyone's
I'm
like
doing
saying
now.
horrible stuff to this person, just know that they're also a victim. That's what you should have done. But instead, you decided, oh, I forgot what I was saying back then. You
Yep,
always.
I did what was asked of me.
Why is lying the go-to? Like, it is not the
know.
go-to.
I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that we saw our family lie constantly to navigate the world.
Oh
And
my
I
god.
think that
Makes
put a
sense.
very
Makes a
bad
lot
toll
of
on our
sense.
kids.
That makes a lot of sense. That
Right,
makes...
and you're taught to lie at an early age when you're being abused. You know, you would have to go to school with scars and burns and cuts and bruises, and you'd have to make up reasons for why that happened. And if it wasn't convincing, then things would get considerably worse at home. If they got a phone call at home, then things would get considerably
Do you have scars
worse.
from the burns?
I feel like this third party
I don't really think so.
heard
No.
these claims and lost their shit at you and told you not to be making claims. That's what I think. I think this third party got involved and told you you're making wild claims. You need to fucking not be making them. It seems like any third party we're admitting are the ones that actually are alive to.
All right, well, that's not what happened, but okay.
All the burns happened on your stomach?
I think so.
What do you mean you think? You know or you think? Were you told or what?
I don't remember any that happened to my arms, but there's a lot of things I don't remember from being a
Well,
child.
I want to talk about something that you stated in a blog post that happened when you were 4.
Okay.
I remember her
What?
claiming my dad was a faggot because she found blood in your fucking underwear.
Yeah.
Even though my father was in reality a severe alcoholic, he claimed it was feces, and all likelihood he'd shit himself at that point. I was around 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you had said there was no penetrative sex that had happened
Not with a penis, no.
to you, though. But this is an episode at 4. You said the earliest abuse with your father happened when you were around 8 or 9.
I'm confused as to what the question is. Yes, my mom called him a faggot. He did have blood in his underwear.
Oh, she was claiming it was his underwear, not yours.
Yes, yes.
Okay, that would be the
We
thing.
could probably chill out on the F word.
Yep.
Let's just use
I'm
the
sorry.
slang version.
I mean, we're using it in the proper context. You know, I'm not
Oh,
calling anybody
God.
that. We're just discussing what was said. That's it.
The other thing was, unfortunately, these are not the only memories. And again, I'm trying to keep this as I can. You said that your mother never touched you till you were 11 or so, but you said that the abuse you suffered happened much earlier than that.
Yeah, I think it was closer to 8 or 9. It's whenever my dad got sick. That could have been as late as 11. I don't know the year, and I could call my brother to find out. But it's whenever
Yeah,
that
but you have
happened.
2 statements online and they don't match up. That's the whole point of the fucking thread,
I
Boogie.
understand, and like I said earlier, it's my memory is very foggy right
Then
now.
why,
I can't
if your
tell you-
memory's foggy, okay, you're talking about such a serious issue. If your memory's foggy, don't fucking say it. Don't say
I'd rather,
it. How
well,
about
I'd rather
not telling
I'd
the
rather
fucking
not
internet?
be talking about it, and I don't plan to talk about it moving forward.
That's fine.
You should never have to walk back like a rape claim or something like that, or a sexual abuse claim. Like,
Well, Akeem, like the contradictions get more because there's a tweet from 2019 where it said, "Well, she was molesting me when I was 5. Pretty sure that was statutory rape." When you're saying that she was molesting you at the age of 5,
It was
what are
not
we
my
talking
mother.
about?
It was the third party that we're not talking about.
Okay, all right. So that's a different party altogether. All right.
Yes.
All right, more tweets of Boogie claiming that his mother molested him. These are specifically related to your mother from 2018. I feel this way because I was raised by a
Not yet.
monster.
Not Chad, please. Just let us get through it, okay?
I feel this way because I was raised by a monster who sexually messed me up physically and mentally. Yet she helped hundreds of kids.
I don't understand why his wranglers are basically there. It's what they are at this point. Every single time anything comes up, they are literally about to just yank the fucking power cord out of the outlet at that point. I mean, I get it. I know what subject we're talking about, but it's not necessarily the subject we're talking about as much as it is the inconsistencies of them. See, that's what makes it... I understand it's a bad subject, and it's a serious subject and whatnot, but that's... But doing... I don't understand... I guess they just don't understand that just makes him look worse. It's... Dealing with someone who is, quite frankly, a compulsive liar, which is what Boogie is. And him saying that he was raised to lie and everything makes it worse. Sure, it does. It definitely affects it, but I think it's gotten to the point that he's not just a liar from manipulation and sympathy as much as it is that he's just compulsive. He has to lie about everything, otherwise there's no reason for him to open his mouth.
Do you mind if she's passed away, correct?
Yeah, Wanda Williams, is that what you're wanting to say her name or something?
No, not her name, her profession. I didn't want to
Yeah, she taught Head Start for 25 years.
Oh, yeah, as a Head Start teacher who's credited for their graduation speeches. But I can't help but look at a person and see a pile of good and a pile of bad. I forgave the person who molested me, so I guess that's a way of probably too forgiving.
Yeah.
I was raised by a monster. Again, it goes into this torture and molestation. I mean, one of the weird things that I keep encountering is, like, yeah, in the blog posts, in the Reddit posts, and in the Twitter posts, like, the ages and the dates and the events all seem to, like, shift.
Yep, I was a child, and it's difficult to pin it down.
So how are you sure any of it happened then?
Oh, I have memories of it. You know, I just don't. I didn't check the calendar when it was happening. I just remember.
Yeah, but
I
I guess what I'm curious about is, and again, this goes back to two third parties. One saying that you said gaslit you. How do you know that they're not just telling you bullshit?
Because I remember it. I have the memory.
But if they had to tell you for you to remember,
it is common,
Right.
I think, for victims of abuse
You
to
think,
sometimes
but it's
block
not
movement.
actually how it is.
Well, I think it is actually. I believe that it is. I've been told, but that it is. It is common for victims of abuse to
Just like you were
sometimes,
told
as
you
a
had
survival
cancer?
technique, to not remember some
When you weren't
details or
told?
some things.
You
that
know what I
happened.
think? I think that you probably did get abused, and I think you grew up in a fucking really shitty household. I think that's 100% true.
Yeah.
But what I also think is anytime someone called you out on the internet for something completely unrelated, your response was, well, I have a fucked up head because I was molested.
Sure.
I've heard that
yeah,
so many
I'll
times from
talk-
you for
yeah,
the
I'll
last
talk
fucking
that.
decade.
Yeah. I
Anytime
will often-
you get in trouble for anything, you go on Twitch and you say something racist or Hitler was not that bad or something you said like that, right?
Well, Hitler was pretty bad. I've never said.
You
anything
said
like
something
that.
like he did good things or something, right?
Well, no,
That
what
was me.
No,
That
hold
was
on.
me.
Let me clarify what I specifically said. I was taught
Let's
in high
not.
school. No, let me.
No, let's get
Let me
this is a
finish.
this
It's-
word.
Yeah, no, we're trying to get everything out, right? So let's get this one out. I was taught in high school that when the Nazis surrendered, we took several of their scientists and helped.
Yes,
form-
Operation Paperclip.
Operation
It was never
Paperclip.
medicine,
Right,
it
and
was
so-
warfare
right.
weapons technology. It was
Right,
not
and so what I said to Ethan Ralph was, I'm like, hey, here's something your audience might agree with. You know, I guess I know that we learned a lot by letting those Nazis surrender to us, and it turns out that's a fallacy.
By the way, that same exact clip is the one that I listened to and immediately just could not buy anything Boogie ever said anymore. It's the same exact stream that I heard him basically say everything is an act that he puts on. So there's absolutely no way that I could take anything that he says seriously.
Well,
It's actually incorrect.
If I
But I
remember,
believed
if
it
I
at the
remember
time.
correctly, that's fine. I remember correctly throughout the years of you getting in trouble, people being on your ass, and you being like, "Well, I was molested as a kid. I got cancer. Oh, I got cancer. I was molested and I got cancer." You know, like that's like these.
I mean, what you're
things-
describing is covert narcissism, and yes, I've admitted to it in the documentary, which was one of the true parts of the documentary. Sure.
This is why people are so frustrated with you, is because of the lies and the manipulation. And these stories now don't even match up. And you're like, well, I think I have the memory, but someone had to remind me of the memory. And
well,
like,
the dates are wrong, but yes, the details are still
why
accurate.
talk about it? Why talk about it? You know what? If there was one statement online,
I'd rather not be. Can we be done, or is Metokur
we're
done?
close to
Let's-
being done,
let's
I
get through.
think. But there's, if you had one statement online, Boogie, listen to me. Hear what I'm saying. If you had one video talking about your abuse and that was it, and you never talked about it again, like a normal person, A normal person operates that way. Like I've seen multiple creators talk about abuse when they were a kid. They don't sit there and put it on every tweet when they're in a controversy.
Like my brother, I'm obsessed with it. It never leaves the forefront of my mind. I think about it all day, every day. I've never recovered from that. It is.
I'm sure a lot of people have it, but they don't tweet it every day. That's the
my
difference.
my brother talks about it constantly. Actually, even in his professional life, it's gotten in trouble there.
All right.
So
well, whatever.
I'm just trying to be clear that it's something I'm not going to do moving forward as best I can. I'll probably fuck it up.
Let me ask the chat.
but I don't wanna
I'm
talk
sure
about
you've
it
seen
anymore.
an influencer at some time come out and say, "Hey, I want to talk about this abuse that happened to me." They don't talk about it fucking once a week. They don't tweet about it once a week. They don't make multiple videos throughout the years. The fact that the fact that Metokur has a thread here and he could go, in 2012 you said this, in 2016 that just goes to show that you're talking about this nonstop.
What you're describing is a tool out of a covert narcissist toolbox, and it's one.
You're
of the
not really
tools that I
fucking
use.
covert, so just say narcissist.
It's right.
Well, okay, it's not that you're a covert narcissist. Covert narcissism is you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? Right? Feel bad for me. Feel bad for me. That is not just narcissism. That is
Who the fuck
specifically
even
a
wants to
type
know
of
these terms? Why do you know all these like
know.
terms about fucking psychology
to
and
have
shit?
to have a better
Like
understanding of who
every
I am,
time
so
I
that
talk
can
to
get better.
someone and they know all these little terms, they're fucked in the head. And the only reason
Yes.
why they know them is because they go and talk to counselors every fucking second of their goddamn life so they can learn
Yeah,
about the next thing that they can be a victim of.
I'm back in therapy again. I'll be in therapy. I'm talking to my therapist.
Exactly, you're a
tomorrow.
professional victim.
fucking work.
It helped
my Lord.
tremendously.
It
Your
does not help.
therapy doesn't
Remember,
help at all.
I'm the person that was a millionaire.
So
remember?
I mean,
Don't forget.
here's the problem we're encountering, right? Like the bulk of this story, the bulk of these claims, we can't touch upon because of
we
third
have
parties.
touched upon them up to saying the person.
Well, no, I mean we can't because you don't want to talk about them. But a lot of this is stuff you've talked about before, and I get you.
Right.
You said you made amends. You don't want to talk, but I will say one of the third parties at the close out of this thing, at the very bottom, when they said, "Should we believe Boogie about these claims in regards to third parties?" says, "Fuck no."
Yeah, you don't have to believe me. I don't really care. That's okay.
Well, it says one third party said you were gaslit. The other third party said you were essentially lying.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's what they wanted me to do. So I achieved what they wanted me to do. That's good.
No, they're saying about just the abuse and sexual abuse allegations.
Oh, okay. They don't believe any of it. That's okay.
No. One said that it was gaslighting, but the very end, like if Muda, if you want to look at what I'm looking at, if you scroll down to the very bottom of that particular post, it said, "Should we believe Boogie's story? You know, from 4 decades ago or whatever."
Hell no. Yeah. I don't care if you do. Listen, here's what it comes down to. My brother knows it happened. My sister knows it happened. I know it happened. If my father and mother were still alive, they knew it happened. It doesn't matter what you guys think. This is just reality.
Wait, you said your sister knows it happened?
Yeah, my sister,
She's the one that's saying we shouldn't believe you.
I understand. What I'm saying is she knows what happened. That's it. I'm not going to get into any more details.
Well, and that's the problem. I mean, how do we talk about it if you won't go into detail? That's weird. Why would you say let's talk about it, but let's not talk about it?
Because she's still alive. And
so
I
you'll
don't
talk
want.
about things that happen with dead people who can't defend themselves, but the two people that are around that could defend themselves, you don't want to talk about.
Because they've specifically asked me not to. Yes.
And they never mentioned it before. You went on all these multiple podcasts for multiple years talking about it incessantly, not to do it.
Nope. And
now
only
you just
only after they asked me to walk it back did I, and then I did. And then I'm going to protect that person now, and I'll continue to protect. That
So it's like the perfect Kafkaesque excuse. Like, well, we can't. There's how do we get into talking about something we can't talk about?
Well, you just. I mean, at the end of the day, listen. What you do is you just assume I lied and move on, and that's good for them, and that's good for me. So assume I lied and move on.
To be fair, that's what Boogie said at the very beginning. He goes, "There's no point in talking about this because I can't prove anything I'm saying."
Yep.
Well, no, there is a point in talking about it, but not if we can't talk about it. You know what I mean, Game? Like,
I mean, like here's my thing. Like,
why would you want?
I believe Boogie at this point. I don't think every detail.
I don't believe a single fucking thing at this point. How many lies have you guys been force fed over the last week that you're still buying this bullshit?
Well, I mean, Jim, let's be real. The guy's fucked in the head. He had to have been fucking titty twisted or something. Something happened to that fucker.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Could I accept that? Like somebody dressed up as Annoyed and threw pizza at him? Sure. But like, I mean, we're going into a claim of like every fucking day nonstop abuse.
Okay, hold
Like,
on. Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on.
Something happened to the guy. Somebody pissed in his cornflakes.
Call Brian Williams.
I've heard enough of these Boogie stories. There's a lot of that comes together the same all the time. Does every detail match? Probably not, but he's probably recalling it.
Hey Brian, real quick, can you tell people that my mother was physically and emotionally and abusive? Could you do that for me, please? They don't believe us, so I just wanted to have a third party.
They believe. I mean, it's well
That's what
documented. Hell, her damn. She lost her kids.
Yeah.
Or lost her daughter because of it.
Yeah.
She had several defects reports.
Yep.
She had several issues at work.
Yep. Like I said, I don't care if they believe me, right? Like I told them as soon as we started discussing this, no one would believe me, and I don't care. It doesn't matter. You know what happened. I know what happened. That's all that matters.
But that's the same brother that said you had cancer. That's the same brother.
Yeah,
he's still seen the paperwork. Yeah. He still knows that I'm being treated for that. Yeah.
Just stop defending yourself for something that you don't need to defend yourself.
That's fair. All right. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
To be fair, Boogie, two of us are saying we do believe you.
I believe him. I believe something happened. I just know that with him saying the story over and over again, he's definitely has lied. He has lied. He has lied.
Yeah. I chose to walk something back, and it was a lie. And
I think it's more than that because your stories don't match up. That's the whole point of the fucking thread.
I certainly got the dates blurred because I don't know the specific dates because I was a child.
Yeah, and that's why I went to ask you, was this something that you remembered, or was this something you were being told? Because then he went on to say you were being gaslit on one interview, which would mean that you were being told false shit, right?
Yeah, I walked it back for the third party involved because I wanted to do what they asked me to do.
Can I ask you in regards to that, when you mentioned the gaslighting stuff, when you say you walked it back, were you walking it back as a favor to them, or were you walking it back because it was genuinely not true?
I was a favor to them. This is the thing I didn't want to.
That's a good question, Jim. That's a really good question, Jim.
I had new context for the thing that happened.
Oh, so there you go. See, good question, Jim.
So I chose
there was something that was not true in the original statement.
Well, I'll tell you what the original
very
statement
good
was.
question, Jim.
Hold on. Going back, in the original, my original feeling of it was that it was malicious, but they explained to me that they were a victim as well. They explained to me they were a child as well. And I had that new perspective. And so I'm like, all right, then I have forgiveness. I thought it was malicious.
Yeah, I'm not trying to play. Listen, kids being made to do terrible shit. I'm not trying to place blame on fucking kids. They're innocent. Yeah. My problem is like, how do we talk about a subject where there's so many different dates and so many different accusations and they're all shuffled around? Yeah. But then we can't specifically mention something.
Well, I mean, everyone's just going to assume I made it up, and that's okay. I said that at the beginning.
Well, and it's okay. Why? Because you've lied about a lot of other shit, right?
Right, and also because I know the truth, and that's all that matters.
Not that, but because you have lied about a lot of shit before.
But I'll tell you what bothers me.
Sure.
What's good for me. It's like my brother said. We know the truth. It doesn't matter.
And so these state reports, why haven't that would be publicly available, right? Why haven't
certainly her name was Hold on. Let me give Kiwi Farms all the ammunition they need to look it up.
Wait, just let me hold on.
Can I finish the statement?
At the very beginning, before you joined the stream, Wings, you were talking about apparently you guys were earlier in the in a vehicle, and Boogie was on the phone with the sister, and she was mad because she was lying about stuff.
Yes.
When were you on the phone with my sister?
No, I wasn't. You were on the phone in the back of the truck.
Oh shit!
You were talking to your sister, and she was
I wasn't
at you. Yes.
No, I wasn't. I didn't call my sister. What are you talking about?
Your sister called you.
I didn't know. During this trip to New York.
That's Wings. How are you going to sit there and tell me this guy doesn't lie when you're recalling something and he's telling you you're a fucking liar to your face, Wings?
He's fucking lying. No,
he's
I did not talk to my sister.
Liar, Wings.
I don't talk to my sister.
Call my wife in here. She was in the truck.
Go right ahead. You're mistaken.
Wings, you're defending a guy that's painting you as the asshole.
Why would I lie about this? Why would I lie about this? You are mistaken. I was not on the phone with my sister.
Don't increase your voice, Wings. Your wife knows. Can she be an eyewitness to this?
Oh yeah, bring her in.
Boogie, I think you need to really refresh your memory. Why would Wings lie about that?
Hey, Desi, come here.
Why would Wings lie? Wings ain't
Desi.
lying about that. Come on.
Desi,
I
on.
don't see any reason Wings would benefit
Hold
from
on.
lying about
I'm gonna
that.
bring my
Why
turn.
would Wings lie about that shit?
Hold
All
on.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Wings versus Boogie. Both of their women are coming in to testify. Did Boogie, on the way to Keemstar's 4th of July party, talk to his sister about the abuse on the phone and Wings overheard it? Or did Wings make this story up? We got Desi versus Kelly, Boogie versus Wings, and Lies versus the hardcore truth. Here we go.
Hold the camera down. I don't have to see
Let's
you.
go.
Wings for Keemstar,
Yes.
and we had Desi and Boogie in the backseat of the car.
Okay,
Yes.
hold on.
Was Boogie on the phone?
Yes.
Was Boogie on the phone with his sister?
Yes.
Okay.
Boom.
Good.
All right. So here's the question.
Even the
Desi.
dog fucking
Desi,
backed
hold
that
on.
up.
Desi, when we were on the way to the 4th, when we were on the way to the 4th of July party, okay, did I talk to anybody on the phone?
No,
Did I get a text from my sister? Remember?
I don't remember you getting a text from your sister. I mean, I honestly don't. I mean, if she did.
But
don't
did I
remember.
talk to my sister on the
No.
phone while we were in the back of the truck?
No,
Of course not.
no, you didn't.
Ooh, this is getting good.
Now the reality of it is I did get a text from her, but I didn't call her. I don't have any calls to my sister. I haven't talked to my sister on the phone in over a year. We have texted.
And after you got off the phone with him, you specifically, I was driving, so goes, this is why I can't say anything on the internet about my sister.
Yes, because of a text. I did not talk to her on the phone.
So you're saying Wings and his wife are liars?
No, I just think they're mistaken.
No, no.
So it doesn't boil down to did it happen or not. It honestly boils down to which of the two do you really want to believe at that point, because here's what we have, right? Now we have Wings and his wife Kelly, who, you know, they already have a lot of shit going for them, and that's, you know, that's fine. It's not what this is necessarily about. But one thing that Wings and Kelly do whenever it comes down to these particular facts is that they tell the truth. They tell the truth about each other, they tell the truth about the matter, right? Then we have Boogie and his girlfriend and his brother, who both of them corroborated that they looked at the paperwork, saw that he had cancer. It said cancer on the paper. Turns out cancer's not on the paper. Cancer's not on the portal. Cancer's not on any of the paperwork at all. So just by that particular little bit of history as is, it's either Boogie and Desi, who are known liars, or Jordy and Kelly, who at the very least, whenever it comes to this kind of thing, is truthful. And quite frankly, I know where I sit, but I will admit I am a bit biased. So, already getting doubled down good on this.
No, they're lying.
Are
No,
you
they're
sure?
mistaken.
Wait, Wings. Are you sure it wasn't a text? Are you sure? Did you hear him talking to his sister directly?
This is where it's muddy. You got me questioning myself, but
Of course
he
I
was
do,
on,
because you're
he
fucking
was
wrong.
he was on the phone, and after he got off the phone, he talked about his sister and the internet stuff.
I did talk to you about my sister, but it's not because I talked to her, because I didn't talk
And
to
he
her.
was doing
I
one of
haven't
these,
talked-
Wings, like phone up to the ear on the phone talking to someone.
Don't get
Yeah.
confused. You have an eyewitness, Kelly. Ask her and just clarify.
I got a
that
question.
point.
Wait, Boogie. We can
Yeah,
settle
ask
this.
Kelly if she
Wait,
knew I was specifically on the
we
phone.
can
with my
settle
sister.
this out right now. Go back to July 3rd on your phone and see if you
Okay.
made a call to your sister or she made a call to you.
Okay.
Scroll back to July 3rd. It would have been July 3rd, right?
Yep.
Yeah, July 3rd. It was that day. It's the day we brought all that pizza and wings to your house.
Yep, July 3rd.
No,
Ladies
sir.
and
No, sir. No, sir. I talked to my roommate. I talked to Desi on that date. I talked to Jordy.
How about
I
you
talked.
show us instead of telling us? Just show the.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Hold on.
sure. There's some phone numbers on here that I don't necessarily want to show, but I'll send it to I don't want to
screenshot and send it
Yeah.
to me right now.
Yep. Absolutely. Here's the entire And as you can see, my fingers have not deleted anything.
I might have been mistaken on the call, but he was.
because you are.
Because he was
'Cause you
actively
are.
talking to his sister via text.
To be clear, though, you can delete call history.
Yeah,
I know.
that's why you swipe a finger. So
But
I
even
don't know.
he's
Well,
walking it back. Even he's walking.
Well, I'm
it back.
walking it back because I'm
he's
not
being
100%
gaslit
sure.
right now.
There's no gaslighting. Desi knows I.
But
did.
I do know
I have
for a
not
fact.
talked to my sister any. Hold on a second. Hold on.
I do know
Let's
for a
see if
fact
she'll
I was
participate in
driving.
this fucking shit show. Hold on.
We don't need him to participate.
No, we're gonna call my sister. Fuck it.
But I do know for a fact.
No, we're gonna call my sister.
And you started talking about your sister.
Let's just talk.
Hold
to the
on. I'm gonna
sister.
call my sister right now.
Let's go.
All right, you're opening the door on this.
I know.
We've been dancing around
I
third
know.
parties.
I'm entirely certain I didn't talk to her on the 3rd.
Hey.
Hey, when was the last time I talked to you on the phone?
Dang, I don't know. I can't remember.
Was it July 3rd? Just this last July?
Maybe.
Maybe or certain? I need to know for certain.
I would have to go through my call log or my text messages.
Can you do that for us real quick? I'm on live stream right now, by the way.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
You want me to do it while I got you on the phone?
Yes, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, hang on.
I'll say something for certain. Boogie's sister sounds like she can cook some good fried chicken.
I agree.
Is that racist, by the way? Do you mean that racist?
How is that racist?
Hey, you brought up curry with Muda. You brought up curry with Muda.
Because my nephews and nieces are black?
What?
Your sister ain't black.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean?
How the fuck we gonna know that?
The 19th.
Just the only date that matters is the 3rd. Can you confirm I didn't call you or you didn't
Or the
call me on the
2nd.
3rd? Well, no, he's saying it took place on the 3rd.
I mean, what exactly are you asking me?
Whether or not you and I talked on the phone on July 3rd.
Honey, I never erase anything, so it would take me about 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, do you have a remembrance of us talking on the 3rd?
What do we talk about?
I didn't call you. I don't think I called you on the 3rd. Do you remember me calling you on the 3rd?
Say talk about the abuse. Say that. Say that.
Well, no.
I mean, every time we talk, there's a topic, a birthday or something with the kids. Oh, was it when Michaela graduated?
Yeah, I think we texted about that day, actually. Hold on, let me check.
We did.
Yeah, we did not. There was no phone call, though, correct?
I don't think so because you told me to tell her congratulations
All
and
right.
blah.
Thank you. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Why? What's the point?
I don't know. They're just being fucking
Ladies and
ludicrous. I
gentlemen,
love
we
you.
have 20,000 live concurrent viewers trying to find out if Boogie spoke to his sister on July 3rd. This is the most exciting content in the fucking world.
Hey, here's the other thing. I don't think I texted her on that day either.
You just said you did.
I know. I think I might have, but that's the only
Dude,
thing.
there's
that
no
could've
way
been.
Wings is making this up out of thin air, and Kelly is backing him up. You
No,
have
I discussed my sister that day. I just didn't call her. I'm telling you, I discussed.
She never
it with her.
confirmed or denied it, by the way, too.
Okay, well then you guys are gonna have to.
So,
believe
Wings,
you
what
said.
did he say exactly?
Let me send you. Let me send you the text
He was
history.
talking about how she didn't want to be on the internet and that she wants nothing to do.
So
with
he
her-
calls her up live on the stream.
Yep.
Like what he's doing there is more damaging than anything else.
He's like, "What are you calling me for? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking."
I just don't want you guys sticking a lie to me that's not true. You know, that's important to me.
Why do you care? You're so guilty of so many lies at this point. Take a couple hits.
Because I would like to not.
Well, why would Wings lie about this?
He's just mistaken. It's not that he lied.
I mean,
Do you guys find it really funny that Boogie's like, hey man,
It's not that he lied. He's just mistaken. But the mistake of it is that bad that he's getting angry that he's acting like it's a lie. So I'm confused.
and I don't want you to catch me in a lie
So I
that
do-
not
I
true.
do-
But
I
you're
do
gonna
have
let
a-
the cancer thing go for fucking 2 years and fight
So I have-
fight
so I
tooth
have-
and nail over it.
I did. Okay, so here is what Jordy's talking about. So I do have a text from her that day, and she had seen the episode that we did about
maybe Brian's episode.
my brother,
Uh-huh.
and she said, "You sure did mention me a lot in this. I really wish you wouldn't."
Uh-huh.
Is basically what she said. And then that's why I said to Jordy, based on a text, not a phone call, Jordy. Based on a text.
Like I said, I'll walk that back. I'll admit it might have been a text.
Yep.
So you got a text, and then you started venting in the car about your sister and why you don't want to talk about the sister on the internet.
No, I didn't vent about her. I just said, this is why I don't talk about her on the show, because she specifically doesn't want me to.
I think you specifically said she doesn't like you.
I know.
So
she
this
likes
leads us
me
all
quite a
from
bit.
what
She
Muda
likes
was
me
saying
quite a
earlier.
bit.
Muda, what was your original point? We got a little lost in the weeds here on text or phone call.
I mean, before well, I was just saying,
on.
like, you know, Wings brings this up in the beginning that like he doesn't want to bring up his sister, like whatever, and then like fucking. Sorry, hold on, I gotta collect my thoughts.
I mostly just don't want to bring up the sexual
Hold on,
abuse that
let me-
she
let me-
endured.
let me
I know, but I'm just saying. Let me clarify.
Let me.
I
Finish.
do not.
I have the fucking speaking cup. Hold on.
No, you said you needed to collect your thoughts.
Damn, you got Tim Hortons too?
Yeah, dude, absolutely. My thing about this is obviously Wings, I think, should probably bring in Kelly just so like a side thing, but whatever. This is like a text message. You don't want to talk about this third party, right? At all, like this third party in this entire situation,
Or my sister, right? Or my sister.
Okay, yeah, exactly. So let's just fucking say your sister, right?
Yep.
Who's like the only person.
Well, no, I'm
alive
saying
that-
either this third party or my sister. I don't want to talk about either of those.
Okay. Anyways, we don't bring up a third party. I think the audience fucking, I guess, knows. Whatever. The third party we don't bring up. We start the beginning. This is the only person that can corroborate whether it's right or wrong, like whether your whole situation is truthful.
Right.
Or
And
not.
I literally have a text I can show you right now that says, "Please
Okay,
stop
but-
talking about
but
me on that show."
Here's the
I
thing.
can literally
You've got-
show you that
you've
she
got-
doesn't
you've got two
want to be
people
talked.
who
Oh, no, hold on.
can't-
I'm going to send this to
can't do
Dan.
anything.
I'm going to send this to Dan right now.
Okay,
Yeah,
you don't
do
even
that.
have to send it to me. We all believe that you have that text. Go ahead, Muta.
So like the whole thing is obviously the only people that can't corroborate the situation is like mom and dad because you know they're fucking long dead. You know they can't fucking resurrect.
Well, my brother can
Speaking
corroborate
cup,
it.
speaking
Okay.
cup, speaking
You're-
cup. Someone
right
has
here,
the speaking
right here,
cup.
right here,
It's
right here,
not
I got
you. Stop interrupting.
So-
The guy can't fucking say a sentence, Boogie. Stop this now.
So you got your whole sister over here, or you know whatever third party that can corroborate you. You make these statements, and you have to walk back something because you definitely got threatened by this third party to get your shit together and not lie about these situations.
Not threatened. No, that's not what happened at all.
And then walk back this whole story.
That's not what
And,
happened at all.
You know, even literally, as of right now, we're sitting in a situation where we start off. We mentioned, oh, you discuss your sister in the very beginning. You talk to her, and then, you know, Wings is here trying to like fucking tell us, yes, this is a person you're speaking to, and then we get into this whole side tangent, right? You said your sister said that you were lying. That was one of the points that I brought up. Your sister said that you were lying about her shit, right?
Yes, and I corroborated that to walk it back. Yes. The reality of it is, and I guess I'm just outing everybody involved. I really feel manipulated into it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Everything that happened between us happened when we were children. We've come to an understanding of it. If you don't believe that, that's fine.
How are you
But
manipulating anyone with that statement? You've already
No,
said
they are.
that.
No, they are manipulating. I'm being manipulated into saying something I don't.
Not
want to
really,
say, but
because
I'm
you've
going
already
to say
said
it.
that. You've already
No,
said
but
that.
I'm going to say it. Let me say it. The thing that happened, it was children. We were children. And we did something that's not even that abnormal for children to do. It looks like it happens occasionally between children. And that's why I walked it back. Because I had a better understanding of it. And I didn't want to ruin that person's life because they felt like it was ruining their lives.
Even when
So
you
they
called
have
your
some
brother, you never even mentioned like sexual abuse. You just said,
Well, he wasn't in the room for the sexual abuse, and he doesn't want to discuss his sexual abuse on this shitty show. Why would he want to talk about the sexual
So he
abuse?
wasn't in the
shitty
room
show?
to corroborate your sexual abuse?
No, that's a very private thing.
Can we just come to the
Do you think my
conclusion
dad? You think my dad called my brother from college, said, "Come watch me jerk off with your baby brother"?
I don't know. Maybe.
I
Well,
thought
it
that would be
didn't
the
happen.
next video. That would be the next statement you have in your next video. I mean,
There's one more thing I want to talk about before while we got Muda and Boogie here. I recently made a YouTube video, shocker. But and a lot of people say I called Muda a liar in that video because I said that Boogie did not force Desi to drink at the party.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know where the force
Yeah, where's the forced shit
Yeah.
come from?
For me, what I was going while you were forcing drinks down.
Because that's why I asked you the other day. Like,
No,
when
I
left-
literally like at the party when like fucking shots are brought up and your girlfriend or whatever, your kid was like completely fucking just beyond blitzed. Okay, like that's what she looked like when I showed up. And when people were like, just like shots came up, you're like, yeah, do a shot, dude. I'm like, do not do a shot. And
Right,
then
obviously, yeah.
shot.
No one was
Did
going
that
to
happen after I
give her a
left?
shot.
I don't know if you were there. I think you might have
No,
been.
you were
Because
there.
I didn't see that while I was there.
You
Because
were
that's why
there.
I asked you, did anything happen
Yeah.
after I left?
The whole Boogie's girlfriend is wasted and Boogie's feeding her shots scandal that's happened all over Reddit is just not true. Boogie
objectively not
sat in a chair and he didn't leave the chair unless he was getting food or a drink.
Or sitting next to
And
me.
actually,
and
no,
apparently was so scared.
somebody brought me food, and I only sat down next to you after
Somebody
she told
brought
me.
you food. You didn't even go get your own food.
Yeah, actually, what's his name? Well, I wasn't going to leave her side. She was throwing up, man. I wasn't going to leave her side.
Wait, you got food while she was puking?
Well, no, specifically Overflow. No, listen, Overflow brought over a burger. The only food that was there, I didn't eat any of. But Overflow brought over a burger and said, get some food into her. And so we ended up feeding her hamburger bun, but she wouldn't eat.
Wait, you got up to fucking sit next to me, but you didn't get up to get her food?
Well, I got up. No, listen, I got up. Listen,
playing into it.
I got up to sit next to you after she sat up and told me she was okay. And once she was able to stand up and walk, I thought, hey, she's fine. I can go do this thing that Keem wants me to do.
Because like when me and Kelly left, the minute we thought that she was going to be okay.
wants me to do this.
Yeah, wait, what did Keem? Why
do you always say Keem wants me to do this?
You were filming, so that's why I got up and walked over there.
No, I filmed after you guys were arguing. You guys were arguing, so I pulled up my phone and started filming.
Oh, well, that's not my memory of it. But once I saw the camera, I'm like, oh, I guess
you have the worst memory ever.
Alexander, I never said nobody helped her in the bathroom. We put her on a bench on the deck.
I don't think she was ever in the bathroom.
The whole scandal with Boogie's girlfriend, she went off. She was hanging out with a couple other girls at the party, and they were on the paddle boat for like an hour, and they must have been slamming them because after she came back, she could barely stand, and people right away took care of her. She was fine. Boogie did not force alcohol on her, but
and I didn't leave her side until she was fine.
Well, I mean, you didn't leave anyone's side. You were in the same
I just
spot.
got up, and even then I just got up and moved 2 chairs over. I just moved to the end of the table. I was still right with an eye shot over. You act like I was in another room. I literally could stare.
No, you guys are making a much bigger deal than it. What it was is she was young. She's like 90 fucking pounds, and she had a little bit more she could handle.
Yeah, she doesn't drink. She doesn't drink, and this is one of her very first times ever drinking. She doesn't really do alcohol, and she just had one too many. They had to throw it up, and she threw it up, and we went home, and she was fine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as this thread goes, like I said, I mean, we're stuck at like a, it's like a Mexican stand-up. But what do you do? Can't talk about certain things. So
right, I mean, at the end of the day, what I suggest for you and everyone else is just assume I'm lying, because I would rather you did that than to persecute this person.
We're not persecuting anybody when you're the one that brought up bringing this conversation into the public domain.
I understand. Persecute me instead.
No. You've been throwing out shit like this. Persecute people. You said we're manipulating you earlier. Keemstar orders you to do stuff. You choose to do things on your own.
Okay.
And then people are left to sort through this shit and try to figure out what's true and not.
Okay. Well, just assume I'm lying. I've lied so much at this point.
This is manipulation. You're doing it right now. You're literally doing it right now.
I think we should drop this whole fucking like sexual abuse thing, because
we've been on it for about an hour.
Honestly, I don't
that's
care.
all that matters. Like, it doesn't affect anybody else.
At the end of the day, I don't care about any of this stuff. I really don't, and it's not a good topic. What I do care about is justice. You have lied to the goddamn YouTube community and lied to the goddamn people that support you and care about you for over a decade. You've been lying and manipulating, and every time you get confronted with real criticism, oh, I got cancer, oh, I was molested, and that's got to end today. You need to be a new person. You need to be a better person, a honest person. Cut the manipulation completely fucking out and pay your dues to society. I want that tattoo of liar on your goddamn face, and this audience will accept you back. Do you accept?
I want to know what's happening to the golden play button. I want to make sure
he's sending it to me. I'm going to take it. It's going to be in my house.
That's okay.
Right under a plaque that says a guy that actually has cancer gets this golden play button.
That's okay, as long as the original agreement, the original agreement was that money's going to charity, and that's very important to me.
The charity is called the guy that actually has cancer gets the golden play button.
That's fine as long as you make a donation. The original agreement was a donation to St. Jude, so as long as there's a hefty donation to St. Jude's, I don't care what happens to it. That's why I gave it up.
My house, and it was it's coming to my place.
It's either
as long as you make a hefty donation to St. Jude's.
It's either going to stay here and I will make the donation, or Jim will make the donation, or Muta will make the donation. Someone is going to make a donation for sure. I don't trust it with a fan because I think it'll be lost to history if we let a fan get it.
Y'all got to melt that bitch down to make it to a chain.
I mean, it's mostly just fucking steel. Someone on YouTube
steel fucking melts. Steel fucking melts.
I'm just saying, like, it's not. If you melt it down, it's not going to appear gold anymore. Yeah, there's so very little gold on it.
What's the donation you're giving, Muta? To what is it? St. Jude's or something?
St. Jude's, yeah.
Whatever St. Jude is, I don't know.
I'd say it's got to be $1,000.
You don't know what St. Jude's is?
Wait, I thought Boogie was the one giving the donation to charity.
No, I gave up the play button.
He already gave up $1,000 to St.
Yeah, and I already made a donation, and I also bought your puzzle from you, Metokur.
That's why I'm saying, like, you got to match.
Yeah, there's a Metokur. There's
$1,000.
There's a $45 charge on my credit card. If you want to see it, I'll send it to you. But I bought some of your merch as a very
I know. I heard you on stream say that you were buying stuff, and then I checked.
Well, I just want to
anything, and then after I tweeted that, I went and checked again, and suddenly there's an order.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that ironic that he had to double check to make sure that it was there? Yeah, that doesn't sound like Boogie was lying or anything, or that he was lying at the time, right?
Well, we haven't figured that out. Me and Muta will talk behind the scenes, and we'll come to. I don't know. I don't really know what to do. Initially, I was going to put it up for
Lord
auction.
Rush says he offers $10,000 for the play button.
Who did?
Lord Rush.
All right, can we get 11? Anybody got 11 out there?
See, this is what I was afraid was going to happen.
No, and listen, Keemstar, whatever the highest bid is, if you match it, then guess what? You get to keep it.
Keem, aren't punishments supposed to be painful? He seems pretty easygoing about everything.
Giving up my play button is pretty goddamn painful. Getting a face tattoo is pretty goddamn painful.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to show you. You want the story of your play button helping people out with cancer. That's what you want the story to be. That
was the original agreement we made.
Foodie Beauty
I just want you to stay on the original agreement. That's all that matters.
Boogie, I understand you want me to stay with the original agreement, but doesn't it suck when people fucking lie?
You're willing to say that you lied about giving money to a cancer charity right now? Is that what you're willing to say?
I'm saying, doesn't it suck when people lie and manipulate?
So are you doing that here?
Are you not going to answer the question?
Yes, it does suck. Is that what you're doing here?
It's really, really sucks when someone lies and manipulates you.
Is that what you're doing here? That you lied about giving money to a cancer charity?
For a financial gain. Lie and manipulate for a financial gain.
I donated my money. Let's see you donate yours.
Everyone, I was diagnosed with cancer. You never were. When you get caught with the crypto scam, I had to pay for my cancer fucking stuff.
Actually donated to the fucking
that was
charity.
a lie.
I showed Keemstar the receipt. He's seen it.
Yeah, but you're a web developer. You know how to inspect Element. I don't even believe shit out of that, dude.
I was a web developer back in 1996. I haven't touched.
Yeah, I think everybody knows how to do Control-Shift-I every once in a while.
What is that,
dude? Like I said, I don't believe shit. Again, even going to the abuse stuff, you just said everyone should assume you're a liar now.
Yeah.
So if you know how that I actually think is worse than the cancer lie. That's actually way worse than the fucking.
Listen, I don't care, and I'll tell you
shit like that, bro. There's.
Listen, what I'm saying is, I don't care about this one. Because it's fundamentally not true, right? I cared about the cancer thing because I knew I had not been fully diagnosed.
Diagnosis, and then 4 days later, we were all fucking right.
The whole play button, the whole reason why he gave me the play button is because he wants to be the story. He wants the story to be, I gave up my play button.
I gave it because you agreed
to help St. Jude's. That's the story you want it to be. That's the only reason.
That's the story. That's the story you told me.
That's the only reason.
Yes, sure. I would like money to go to St. Jude's to make up.
No,
for the
you want
thing
good PR.
Good PR, manipulation.
How's that manipulation? You're the one who suggested it.
Because you just got caught with this crypto scam, this cancer lie, and then the newest story on top of that will be Boogie donates play button to help dying children.
No,
And everybody
one
be
will
like,
ever
"Oh
know.
my God, it's like cute
Why don't
puppies."
you
Who could be
why
mad?
don't you match whatever the donating party is donating? How about we try that?
I don't have that. I have $3,000 in my bank account, man.
Okay, then I'll donate 3,000 and you match it.
I'm not gonna. I need to pay mortgages.
I'm not gonna help those
Hey,
kids.
if
Fuck.
you
listen. I'm not going to go homeless for
Hold
those
on,
kids.
time out. If he donates $3,000 and you match his $3,000,
I literally cannot. I
will
won't pay for my health insurance.
I will pay to mail you this thing back. I swear to God.
I literally.
Let's do it right now.
I'll do it right. I'll do this first thing in the
You'll
morning.
mail it back. I get my play button back.
Yeah, if you donate $3,000.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. How is Boogie going to pay his mortgage?
Did he just leave?
What?
He might have.
We're talking about donating to them sick kids. Fucking.
I'm just saying, like y'all trying to manipulate this man to throw all the money he has left into this.
Oh no, there he is.
What happened?
I mean,
I typed in stjude.com.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to
and the internet said, "Nope, we're not going to let."
Nope, I'm giving up literally every dime of my
think
bank
about
account.
this. Literally think about this before you do this.
Fuck it. Who needs fucking health insurance? Fuck it.
You don't need it. You don't even have cancer.
I thought you.
Oh God damn it! I accidentally donated 25. God damn it! Because that's what.
You hear that outburst that he just? Oh my God! Oh, he's gotta be the eternal victim. Who needs health insurance? Fuck it.
The default on the website. Let me go ahead and do 3,000. Now it's going to be 3,025.
Okay. You just said you only had 3,000.
Wait, are you really going to donate $3,000?
Yeah, he is. Like I'm saying, don't.
I'm literally not going to have.
I don't want to
health
see the St.
insurance.
Jude thing. I want to see a thing in your bank statement that says it went down from the app.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Okay. That's cool. That's
I'll
fine.
do that right now.
I'm going to mail him this play button back. Holy shit.
All right, let's fucking do it.
Dude, you guys don't feel bad that this man might empty his fucking bank account?
No,
not at all.
Wings, no.
Dude, let me say something here, man. As the only other motherfucker here that don't have like generational fucking money.
Let Wings talk. Let Wings talk. Go ahead.
Like having no money for food or lights or anything like that is fucking destroying your mental health. He might make more mistakes because of this action that he's doing right now, just because he wants something he worked hard on back. I can understand. One of my goals in life was to get a gold play button, which I might never ever fucking get because I'm a terrible content creator.
Check your text.
But like, getting him to do this makes you a bad person.
I'll take the blame.
Holy
I'll be
shit,
the
he
bad
already did
person.
it.
I'll do it.
He donated $3,000 to St. Jude. He really did it. Holy shit.
Country, United States, Canada.
Now the ball's in Muda's court.
3,025 Mudahar in American money.
Yeah, of course. I only make money in USD.
You said something about Canada. That's why I said.
Don't worry, I set the USD option. Don't worry.
Do you guys see how bad he wants this to be the story?
No, I just at the end of the day,
He
I
wants
realized
this to
you're
be
not
the
going.
story.
No, I realized you weren't going to donate to St. Jude's, so I'll take it back.
Sure, bro. Okay. Donate
See, he's manipulating again. You don't know what I was doing. You don't know what I'm doing.
You just said. Actually. That's
Actually,
really
no,
awesome.
just donated. Here, I'm going to print the receipt and I'm going to send
No, you don't have to
you.
print anything. I trust you, Muda. It's awesome. I really do.
Let him show his verification. You did.
Hey, team, I'm going to send this to you. It has my address on
Yep.
it, but just verify it, okay?
Okay.
If you want to get the bank receipt from my bank, let me know, okay?
I don't care about any of that, but
I don't care what you think. I'm sending it to Keem.
Okay.
Chill out.
This is crazy.
We
We raised $6,000 for St. Jude tonight. Let's go.
There you go, Keem.
Good
I
job,
sent it to
St.
you
Jude's.
on
Good job.
iMessage, the St. Jude receipt.
Yep, that's $3,000. Okay, guys, $6,000 went to St. Jude.
Actually, 6,025. You still owe 25 more.
And yeah, he did 3,000.
You owe 25 more, Muda.
He did it. He did
I
it.
did it.
He
Oh,
did
okay,
it.
gotcha.
He did it. I just read it wrong. So guys, 6,050 went to St. Jude, and
Good
Boogie's
job,
play
St.
button
Jude's.
went to Keemstar. What a great night.
He's processing it. Give him a minute.
No, I trust that you'll send it back, and if it doesn't happen, Dan, I'm literally health insurance hits in 3 days.
Well, even if you get your play button, what are you going to do with it?
I don't know.
Hug onto it while you can't go to the doctor.
I have an offer. I have an offer from somebody.
Oh,
Rush.
that's why you want it back.
No, I'm just saying maybe Lord Rush. I don't know.
Oh, so you're gonna.
I would like to be able to pay for my health insurance. That would be nice.
So he's going to make a $7,000 profit on this donation.
No, probably not. I'm like I've said, I would like to be able to pay my health insurance though.
He's going to make a $7,000 profit on this donation that he made.
I probably won't. I probably won't sell it.
$5K in your account?
Do what?
Don't you have like $5K in your account according to like what?
I did at the beginning of the month, but the month has progressed and bills came due.
Kim, what's his bank account look like right now? Did he send you the statement of that, or just Jude?
No, it's just. Can I get a screenshot of your bank account real quick?
I don't even believe it. Be right there.
Don't give them a
why?
copy of your bank account.
I just want to know how much money's in there.
No.
There's a lot of
money. Well, now I gotta ask why not.
There's a lot of money. I told you I had about $3,000.
How much money is in your bank account, Metokur?
Right now? Yeah. More than $3,000. After Wednesday, it's going to be way more than $3,000, Jeff.
Boogie, I can say this, right? You are a disaster, but you are still like one of the most fucking entertaining people online. You are. That's why I did this show. Like, you're a complete fucking mess. Yeah. I swear to God. And I don't know why you get so like down on yourself, because it's like you got nothing to lose. What do you have to lose? What are you going to lose?
My life.
No, you're not.
Oh,
you're not. That's more than lies.
Donate, bro.
You got nothing left to lose. You've lost it all.
That's all I have left.
Your entire future is
literally
W's.
said the thing that you have, even if you had told the truth about it, was a 20-year prognosis.
Yeah, that's what I said in the video.
Right. So what do you mean you're going to lose your life in 20 years?
No, I'm just he's saying, what do I have left? My life. That's the only thing I have left. He's just asking what I have
it's
left.
It's like talking to a Tumblr chick. Stop with the suicide baiting shit.
That's not suicide baiting. I'm just saying.
Yes, it fucking is. It's every fucking thing with everything with you.
He asked me what I had left. I said I have my life. He said what do I have left? I said I have my life. I said I'm still alive.
That's everything.
All I have left. He asked me what I had left. I said I'm still alive. He asked me what I had left.
Jim, you better stop. He's gonna grab the butter knife.
Oh my God, the spatula's coming out.
Well,
just
guys,
knock it off with the Tumblr stuff.
He didn't even follow you. He didn't even show his account to Keem. I'll show my bank account to you, Keem,
guys,
right now.
we've been live for like 3.5 hours. I'm gonna have to cut it, but look, before I do, what? Everyone get their 2 cents in. Wings, what do you got for us? How do you? You didn't really get a chance to talk about how fucking dumb it was for him to donate that $3 grand. Go ahead, man.
I think it was fucking dumb to donate the $3 grand, especially since his healthcare.
He never donated.
How you know he didn't donate?
Because he's not showing his bank statement.
I just showed it. It was on PayPal, motherfucker, and I showed it on PayPal, and PayPal's gonna process it through my bank in the morning. But it's already gone. PayPal showed it. I sent it. I showed him PayPal.
Can I send it to Muta? Can I send the screenshot to Muta? Okay.
I can play devil's advocate here. You can charge PayPal back pretty easily.
That's what I'm saying. Those kids are only getting $3,000.
He's fucked himself so hard.
But but even if I believe he sent the money, and I would never pay $3,000 for that gold play button back. I mean, I would never send it to begin with. I mean, like, you did a good enough job not sending me the silver play button. You could easily have not sent that fucking gold play button.
Yeah.
But you do you. It's going to suck in a week from now when you're going to want an RB slider and you ain't got the money to buy an RB slider.
I'm more worried about health insurance, but you know.
Didn't you downgrade to the lowest tier or anything? I don't give a fuck.
No, I downgraded to the silver tier.
Oh God, this show is awesome. I love
and
this show.
I want to address the chat, because the chat say I don't talk that often. I talk when it's pertinent, because sometimes other people are doing things that are more entertaining.
Yeah, it's
Wings,
very honest of you.
You're the best at that.
Yeah.
All right.
Wings is getting great singers in.
Yeah,
you know, if we keep going, we can actually pay back all the crypto scam.
Oh shit! You only have to donate what, another $7 grand. Go ahead, Muta.
Yeah, I'll do it. Fuck it.
I genuinely don't have it, so that's not a possibility.
Floor's yours, Muta. Let's end this thing out.
This is the only way that, by the way, me and Coffee have been like draining out the money back to the scam.
Yeah, well, I've donated now 4,000 of the initial 5,000.
He has.
Yep.
He has.
Good job.
Actually, 4,025. Go ahead, Jim. What do you got for us?
Oh, I thought Mooney was gonna go.
Oh
no, I'm go ahead, Jim. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, I'm not super familiar with the background on the stuff we brought up, so I just kind of went through the thread, and it's hard to kind of dance around it. But just, I mean, 2 years lying about the cancer thing, misrepresenting it, people are going to have doubts about everything you say from this point forward. Yeah, it is okay. And it's weird to me. Like, I don't know. I've observed over like the last week when you're arguing with these guys, and these the people you hang out with or do videos and content and shit with. It's like you like to throw out that they're like liars. Like Muda won't do the money, and I don't trust him. Wings is lying about this conversation. Keepstar makes me do everything that I do. It's like you project all this shit on all these other people, man. And then when it comes back to you, it's I'm gonna, it's the whole all I've got left is my life, and I'm gonna do it. And here's a
no, I didn't say I was gonna do it. What are you fucking talking about? He asked me what I have left. I said I have my life, man. I said I
know. We know what you did.
We know what you were doing. Shut up,
we know what
Boogie.
you're doing.
Come on.
I don't know where you go from here. I don't know where this is headed.
I do, but we were discussing earlier.
He's doing it again.
I do. No, I told you I'm going to Branson. I already told you.
Yeah.
How are you going to afford to move to Branson if you can't pay your fucking medical insurance tomorrow?
He's got equity in his house.
Yeah.
If he's got debt in his house too, it's not like.
Well, the house, the market says the house is worth about $480 right now. I paid $250 for it. I have $160,000 left on the house. So once we're done, I should clear close to $200,000.
I will buy the house.
No, I got a plan for it. I'd
rather just said you'd buy your house.
I'd rather have the equity out of it. It'll go on the market, and if you're the one who buys it, that's fine by me.
Oh my God! You can make it like the Lolcowlive headquarters.
Dude, I'll make it a museum. And like right at the entrance, there's a cardboard cutout with Boogie and the gun.
And the gold play button on the door.
How do you plan to move to Branson? You're zero now in your account.
I'm not doing it today. Would you like to hear the plan now? Finally?
No, you're not going to Branson. Shut up. You can pay your mortgage.
It's in the next 6 months to a year, but the plan is very simple. We are selling off my collectibles right now. We've got bids
change,
on
by the way.
I just got the bid
That
from
will
Brian.
change.
It's $1,800 for my arcade one-ups. So they're going to come and get them, and that's $1,800 in my pocket. My Magic collection's going to get cataloged by Glenn this week. I don't know how much I'll get. Half of what they're worth is what he generally pays. So I'll get about half of what they're worth in cash, and I'll have that. And I'm going to use that to stay in the house as long as I can build equity, which I project with that amount of money, 6 to 8 months with this income coming in for the next 5 months from getting bought out. Then when we're no longer able to live here anymore, Chad's going to move back home with his family. I don't know what will happen to the other roommate.
Poor Chad.
Maybe he'll come to Branson with us. And then me and Desi are going to take the nest egg from selling this house and move closer to her family. And that's the plan.
Cool. My last thing, Keith.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. You were talking about trying to find a good punishment. I've got it for Boogie if you want to bring it back on.
I'm still here.
Yeah. No, I mean if you want to come back on the show, right? Like I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was like no familiarity with this particular subject, and I don't think like Mood or anybody else did. Right? We're kind of flying blind a little bit. If you want him to come back on, you should let his biggest fucking A-logs come on and present their case for his bullshit and lies.
What is an A-log?
Your biggest haters.
Biggest haters.
I would rather do that than a tattoo, so let's set that up for the next episode.
No. Tattoo.
I won't do both.
What? You'll do whatever I say.
No, we just
don't. I control you? Don't I control you?
No, we've just agreed that that's not going to happen anymore, right? Metokur told me to stop doing that.
No, you're lying. I'm not your fucking
Oh,
I'm so sick of this manipulation. Boogie, I will say this to you. Obviously, I was trolling you. I'm not going to scam you out of your play button, and there was no intention to scam you to get the play button. I was going to sell it for charity, but then I figured, I don't want some random person having it. Maybe it's better that Muta has. That's why I said we'll talk about it behind the scenes, right? Okay. So I was just trolling you to fuck with you.
Well, I like this
to let you know that lying and manipulation's not fucking cool, but you didn't really get that. You got really offended right away, and you didn't really get the point that I was trying to get across to you.
Sugar. It's enough.
I'm looking at my bank statement.
Well, the good news is, the good news is I'm getting my play button back, and charity got help, so that's all that matters.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, Boogie.
Wait, if I donate a little bit more, do I get the play button? We matched.
If I get my 3,000 back, sure.
You take money back from dying kids?
No, I mean, Muda Har would also have to give me my 3,000 back.
Somebody clip that.
Yeah, Muda Har.
Oh my fucking god! And you're gonna take money from dying kids? Oh god! Oh my god! Ladies and gentlemen, this is the worst podcast on all of fucking YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. On all of YouTube. There isn't a podcast more worse than that.
Do I really want to sit through Boogie reading the fucking donations and it just being Keem and Boogie? I don't think so. So, I'm also going to end it there. Oh boy. I honestly think that it would be great for Lolcowlive to definitely have Metokur on more often. It seems like the bullshit is really cut through in order to do that. But, oh my god, dude. Let's update this real quick. So, what are our ending thoughts on this? So, like I said, Metokur should definitely come in more often with these. He seems to cut right through the bullshit, and that's honestly it's honestly like what Lolcowlive needs. And honestly, seeing as Jim is saving up to make sure his wife has a good nest egg whenever he leaves this domain of living, honestly, that would be perfect. It's a perfect way to do it. He gets to laugh and call out all this bullshit on these, on especially Boogie and any of the other Lolcows that get on there. Right now it's Boogie, of course, because, you know, Boogie's dumb and goes through all this shit. But overall, pretty enjoyable. Pretty nice little stream there. Like I had said before, I would hope that actually I'm going to keep that on top. There we go. Or let's just go ahead and get all of our thoughts together. So first of all, Boogie, of course, continues to be manipulative, tries to change his story over and over again. We've just found out very quickly that nobody can really trust anything that he says. He could, if it was dead of winter and someone walked out and told you it was snowing outside, and he told you that it was snowing outside and it is blizzarding outside, you couldn't trust him. And that's just the way it is. Manipulative, lying piece of shit. Same as always. And it's, it is what it is at this point. Boogie quite literally considers that fucking golden play button to be his, like, I don't know, his life essence or something like that. It's very strange. If he does get it back, if they like end up doing this thing where they have a little betting war, Muda's definitely going to win that betting war, especially since Boogie supposedly, we'll put that in quotes, supposedly gave the rest of his money to St. Jude's. Who knows? Either way, I'm just going to say congratulations, St. Jude's, for getting as much money as you did. That organization definitely deserves it. I grew up around where St. Jude's is actually located. Heard about it over and over again growing up, and even now. Definitely a good charitable organization. They do what they can for kids with genuine cancer, not the Boogie form of cancer, which doesn't exist. So good for them. Wonderful for them that they got it. Overall, very wonderful little stream that we got to watch and live react to. I'm really hoping that the next time this comes up, that we don't have to hear that Boogie, the Booger, the Boogster, the Booger Man hasn't once again threatened to kill himself for the upteenth time. Apparently it's multiple times a day now because of the fact that he, quote unquote, has nothing left and I have been exposed to the world and blah blah blah. You brought it on yourself, just like they continued to say, and it will be continued to be said because it's the truth. He brought everything on himself. If he was to have just been truthful about everything, he would have been just fine. But no, can't do that. The Booger Man is incapable of being completely honest all the time, because he is not only a pathological liar, but it's honestly compulsive. It's like a mix between a habitual compulsive just and well, manipulative goes into that. So yeah, he's just an habitual compulsive liar. You can't help it. It's almost along the lines of psychotic lying, where it's not just a tick or whatever. You can't live unless you're lying. But what can you do? What can you do? Anyways, well, I think that's about it. As I readjust my picture here, I thank everybody who comes along this stream and who popped in. I see that we have at least 5 new viewers than normal. That's good. Nobody talked in the chat, but that's totally all right. I hope you all enjoyed. Hope you all enjoy this, the time that you watch it, whether it be morning, afternoon, night, whatever it is. I hope your day was great. It's continuing to go great. Hope the rest of your week goes great. It is a Monday as the time of streaming this, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, so hopefully I'll catch you all next time. And until then, be glad you're not Boogie. I guess that's the only thing that can really be said. Be glad that you're not Booger Man.